Hello friends, welcome back to the Craft Castle. Today we're going to be working on a felt project. We are not going to be using the crickets today. We are going to be using the Xtool. If you've never heard of the Xtool, it is a laser cutter and like a cricut combined, had a baby, and then now you have an Xtool. So you have like the best of both worlds. You could cut felt on your crickets, especially the Cricut makers, which is that white one that's right there. My Cricut maker is broken. It doesn't work, so I can't cut any type of fabric or anything on that. And the Explorer Air 2s, which is every other machine that I have up there, I have seen it from other makers be able to cut fabric off of it, but I personally have never been able to figure out the correct settings or how to prep the fabric well enough. I just cannot figure it out. So I have a Xtool and I have been cutting felt on it, and I really love the final results of this. So we're going to work on the Xtool today. If you by chance have a Cricut Explorer Air 2 and you have been cutting fabric on it and you are loving the results, could you please put in the comments what it is that you are doing, because I cannot seem to figure it out. So I'm going to show you how to create a 3D flower, and I'll show you my inspo pics of everything that I've been doing, because I think it's going to be super cute, and I've always wanted to make them, and I just have never been able to figure it out, and I think I've figured it out. Okay, so first this is the Xtool dashboard program. It is still technically in the beta version. What beta means is that they're still working on the kinks and glitches and things of that nature. With that said, I have been playing around with it a lot lately, just trying to get different crowns, different numbers, like all these cute little cuts. And I can tell you that the biggest glitch that I have seen in this entire program, and it is beyond frustrating, is that you get this like white screen of death. A, you lose all of your project, and B, you have to completely close out and then come back into the system. Hopefully we don't encounter that in this tutorial, but I'm just letting you know that that is the biggest glitch. I sure hope they do an update and get that figured out really quick. Okay, then the other thing that I wanted to show you was my inspo. All of these like different felt crowns. I've always wanted to make them. I don't want to cut them by hand, but all these felt crowns, and then also felt flowers. Yeah, you could totally cut cardstock flowers and they look amazing. I know a lot of my friends have made felt flowers or cardstock flowers, and they look absolutely amazing. But I just always have wanted to do it in felt. And of course, I can't figure out my settings correctly for my crickets, and B, I don't want to cut them by hand. That just seems like a whole lot of work. So I'm trying to hopefully get the Xtool to cut it, so then I just don't have to worry about it. It's like a simple cut. So my drawing of my inspo of today is going to be this hello with the floral sign. This one looks like it's layers of felt glued together, and you have like a little bit of greenery. I'm only going to do rolled flowers because I don't know if I want to jump and dive into things that are layers of flowers just yet. I want to be able to cut them, roll them, and be done with it. So I do have some canvas. It's just a drop cloth canvas. You can get it anywhere. Like Walmart has it. You're going to find it in the painting section. Lowe's has it. Home Depot. You can even buy it online through Amazon. But I have a little bit of canvas that we're going to hopefully cut with the Xtool. But then also I picked up all of these pieces of felt. Some of these are from Joann's. Some of these are from Hobby Lobby. And hopefully we can make a really cute canvas sign that has a little bit of floral and maybe some lettering. I don't know. But hopefully we can make that happen. And I'm going to show you a little trick on how to get some images off of Design Space into Xtool, so you don't have to go searching online or anything like that. The coolest thing is if you don't have a Cricut Design Space is a free program. Their database for how many images they have is vast. And this is exactly why I'm doing it, is because I want to do like just want to make something really quick and cute for my house. And so I am just going to open up Design Space, and we're going to go over here into the top left. I have heard that these are called the hamburger menu, which I love. I like that. I love hamburgers. And we're just going to go into Canvas. We're going to open up a blank window in Design Space. Okay, and I'm going to be doing 3D flowers today, or rolled flowers. So all you need to do is go into images, and then in the search field, I'm going to put in 3D flower. And if I spelled flower correctly, it would probably generate. Okay, so here are some different rolled flowers. I don't know what they're going to look like, because if we go over here and these 3 dots. The only thing it says is 3D rolled flower. It doesn't say anything else about like what it's supposed to look like in the end or end result. I want ones that look like this, like in a circular motion, versus the ones that look like this, because those are going to be the layered ones that you're going to glue up top together, and hopefully I just don't want to do that. So all I'm going to do is just find one. Okay, this one right here, the petals seem to be like a kind of like a sunflower, and I do have like a yellow thing, so I'm going to click that. Again, I have no idea what these are going to look like because they don't tell me, so I'm going to just do that one, and we'll just click another one. We'll do this one. Okay, those 2. Then what you want to do is just press add to canvas. Okay, click out of that, and we're just going to drag these 2 separately, and I am going to select both of these, and I'm going to change these over to black. Okay, then all you're going to do is you're going to save this. Let's just save this as 3D Xtool flower, and then press save. When that's done, we're gonna go back up into the hamburger menu, and we're gonna press home, and then go up here into the top right where it says my stuff, and this is our saved file, the one that we just created. That took all of like nothing. So what you want to do is go over to these 3 dots, and you're gonna save for offline. When that happens, you're gonna have a save successfully. You're done. Like, this is it. Okay, then on the Mac, you're gonna go into the Finder menu. I have another tutorial that went through all of this, like the how to find your files offline, or like on your hard drive. So in the comments of that video, there is someone that put in the comments like how to find your files via Windows. So go in there and see what they say if you're on a Windows. I'm personally on a Mac, so I just know the Mac, how to find it on the Mac. So you're going to go into Finder. This is going to pop up. Come over here into Locations and do that, and just click that. Then you want to find your user and just click whatever your username is. And then at the top right here, you're going to have this Cricut design thing. It's going to be grayed out, but you can still click it. And then you're going to go into Local Data. You're going to hit these numbers. I don't know what they mean, but you're going to hit them. And you're going to go into Canvas. For me, and the way that like my files sorting is set up, is it's always going to be the last project that's in that folder. And then you see it right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, and I'm going to press copy. And then I'm just going to go down to my desktop. I'm just taking my mouse and I'm going down to my desktop, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to say paste item. Then going back into the Xtool, I'm going to go over here into image, add image, and do you see how it says preview is right there? That's the one that we just copied into my desktop. And I'm going to click that image, and I'm going to open it. Okay, there it is right here. Let's zoom up. Just go up here so we can see what we're doing. When you save your files from Cricut, they get saved as a PNG. This is not an SVG file. You could screenshot this, go into Inkscape, create your own SVG, and then save it, and then come over here. It's kind of long-winded. This is the easiest, quickest method to getting your file to be a cut file. So because this saved as a PNG, no matter what laser cutter you use, if you're using the Glowforge, I have an Epilogue, if you have an Omtech, if you import a PNG file into your dashboard, it will not be a cut file. It's called a raster and a vector, and I am not even going to get into it because I will lose you really quick. But just know, when you do this, you are only going to be able to engrave this. So over here in the Xtool, you see how there's only an option to engrave, because you're only going to engrave this. However, we want to be able to cut this, right? So I'm going to take this, since we have 2 items, I'm going to copy and paste. I'm going to make 2. If you have 4 flowers, then you want to do copy and paste it to make 4 different images. Then you're going to edit images, having 1 clicked, and then I am just going to take this box, and I'm just going to hover over, and I'm only going to select that one. You can resize it if you've messed up, but I only want 1 of that. And I'm going to press the check mark. And then, do you see how it says save? Let's just save it. Okay, and now you only have 1. Okay, so then with this one, I'm going to do edit images again, and I'm going to go, and I'm only going to select the box around the one I don't have. So the last time, the first time we did the right side, now I'm gonna drive a box around the left side. And then when I have it completely, you know, the box is in my flower, I'm gonna press that check mark and then press save. These are still engraved files, right? The cut portion of this hasn't been highlighted yet. So let's zoom in, and just selecting one, I am going to go over here into outline, and then it's gonna auto generate. Do you see? It's going to be hard, but do you see that red line that's like looping around everything? We are offsetting this at this point, but we don't want it to be a gigantic offset. I'm just trying to create a simple cut file this way, right? So instead of it being 0.079, let's go over here and make it 0.01. And then do you see how you can hardly see? I mean, it's very, very faint, but there is a red line there. You're gonna want it very, very, very small. And then we're just gonna press OK. It'll look like nothing happened, but let's just drag it. Okay, and then do you see over here now with that red line highlighted, do you see how now we have a score, engrave, and cut? It's because we just created our own cut file. So because I don't need this anymore, because I don't want to engrave something, I want to cut out a felt, I'm just going to delete it. And then here is the other one doing the same process. We're going to go into outline. We're going to change this over to 0.01, and then we're going to press OK, dragging it over. And do you see how now we have cut lines? And we're just going to delete that. You have created your own cut file. I mean, it was that simple and that easy. Now, when it comes to cutting on felt, there is, as I figured out while purchasing felt, you at Joann's, they have felt that you can buy that is thicker and stiffer. And even the stuff that you buy in the bolt, it is thicker than the stuff that you have at like the sheet portion. Do you see how, I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of thin, a little flimsy. They're not very stiff. They kind of flap around a little bit. I've done nothing to prep this, and you can tell this one's a little bit thicker and this one's a little bit thinner. That being said, you're gonna have two different settings. I have the chicken scratch notes here. These settings will be in the description of this video. So if you have any questions about what settings that for you to use for your Xtool, I have them. They'll be in the description of the video. I always say though, my settings might not be the perfect settings for your machine. Every machine is different, but at least it gives you a really good starting point as to what settings we should start running with. Okay, so first, I think what I want to do is cut out that what looks like a sunflower, which was this one right here. So I'm just going to drag this in to my machine, and then I'm going to take this over to my Xtool. I'm going to lay it in there. And then what you want to do is you just want to shut it. Going to auto generate on there. Okay, so what I always like to do is press this auto measure feature. It's going to auto measure it. Okay, it auto measured. So here is my flower. Click on your flower. We're gonna go over here and we're gonna change this into a cut. And then for thin felt, I've decided that power 93 and speed 82 was my sweet spot. And then I'm only gonna do one pass. So then all you wanna do is press process. I'm not going to frame because I see if we were doing an engraving file and we wanted to engrave on something and make sure it's perfectly centered, I would use the frame. We're not worried about that. So I'm just gonna press start and then come over to your Xtool and press that blue button. Okay, now that it's done, let's open this up and we're just going to roll out that felt that we just cut. Okay, going back over into our Xtool, I'm gonna press done, and then I'm gonna drag this one up and I'm gonna put this one down. I wanna do a different color flower. And I'm gonna put this down in there, shut it. Okay, and then I'm just going to line this up. Doing the same thing, let's auto measure. We are going to change the settings over. So we're gonna do cut. It's the same thin felt that the yellow was cut on. So I'm gonna change this to the same as what we had. 93, 82 with one pass, and then I'm gonna press process and start and then press go. Okay, when that's done, let's just open this up and we'll peel out that purple. And actually, see how it's not coming out? Like the cuts were not good. So let's just put this back in here. Because it did not cut all the way through, we're going to need either A, more power, or B, less speed. Anytime when you're working with a laser, speed and power kind of go hand in hand. So it didn't cut all the way through, so I'm going to increase the power, and then I'm going to lower the speed just a little bit. And then I'm going to keep it on the single pass and press process. And then press start. And go. All right, let's open this up and see if those settings were good. Nope, sure wasn't. So I'm gonna make this smaller just so I can get one additional one right here. So for thick felt, I have is 95, 10, and 2 passes. I don't really feel like the purple is thick, but I'm gonna do the thick felt setting that I have just to see if that will help. Then press start. Okay, I'm just gonna stop this because I think that we're good. So I'm gonna cancel the task. I think maybe 2 passes was maybe a little too intense for this. Open this up. I mean, it's definitely cut. Woo, look at that. Okay. Okay, and now it's cut all the way through. Like it. Definitely did not need two passes though, I think. Okay, so let's just take this up. We're gonna move this out. And we're gonna take out that purple, and I have a piece of that canvas that I was telling you about that I have. I'm gonna lay that in here, and I'm going to cut out a banner for this, just like that inspo pic that I showed you earlier. So I'm gonna take that, close that up. Now, we did not import a banner into our Cricut or into our Xtool from Cricut. We're just going to use shapes, and oh, we can do a vector. Okay, let's do a vector. We'll do bink, bink. Okay, look at how cute that is. All this is just lines that I just drew. So all I did was I used this vector, and I used my grid, and I made a straight line. And now I have my pennant. Look at how stinking easy that was. Oh my goodness. Okay, cut. I have never cut canvas on, on the Xtool. So you are going to learn how to do this just like what we did with the purple and we adjusted the settings up and down. We're going to adjust the settings for the canvas just the same. Because the felt is pretty close in similarities with that, and it's pretty thin. I'm going to use the thin settings for this, and hopefully that will work. 9382, and hopefully that works. If not, it's going to be the same trial and error that we did for the felt. You're just going to have to, play with the settings a little bit. Let's just go with it. We're going to go with the flow. Okay, we're going to press process, and we're going to press and pray. Okay, we're going to open this up, and it did not cut all the way through. It made a score line, but it did not cut all the way through. So let's go back. Okay, so this time we will do the thick cut settings, which was 95, 10, and 2 passes. Okay, then we'll press process, doing the same thing. We're just adjusting settings. All right, let's open this up and cut all the way through. Look at that. We are going to start on the outside. Okay, go in here. I'm just gonna roll it. Ooh, look at how cute this turned out. Oh my gosh. Okay, whoop. Okay, just gonna take a little bit of hot glue. I'm gonna glue this down. And then I'm also gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna put glue on the bottom of everything just to hold all those little rolled layers together. It would be really cute if you were concerned about it being ugly. It's just cutting like a little circle and then gluing it on there, covering the ugly. I really love the way that this is looking. So stinking cute. Okay, in that inspo pic, it had like a dowel. This is a really long dowel. You can see I use this as like a painting cloth. Okay, let's go this way, and this is going to be our front. All I'm gonna do is just roll this out just a little bit. I'm gonna take a bead of hot glue. Okay, just like that. I'm gonna roll this up. Ooh. Okay, let's turn this over. Oh, yep, starting to look really cute. Okay, I'm gonna put these, a little bit of hot glue. Okay, I'm gonna cut a couple more flowers, and then we can just glue them all together. Okay, while my new flowers are cutting, I'm just going to add a little bit of string to the ends. This is just like macrame rope, and I'm just gonna add it so we can hang it. Trim up the little ends just so they're nice and even. Now I have all of this left over, so okay, that looks so much cuter. Okay, there is another one. I made them different sizes just so they're not all gonna look the same because no flower is the same. Oh, look at how cute. Oh my goodness. I just love it. Okay, now that we have our flowers cut out for our tapestry, look at, I wanna put like hello or something, right? Like spring. So I'm gonna drag this down. I'm gonna put this up here just to be my guide. And we're gonna go into text box and let's do spring. And I am going to just choose Xtool typeface. Okay, we're just gonna do hello. My goodness. I can sit here forever and just try and figure out what to put on there for the fonts. Okay, so I'm gonna use a blue, like a turquoise color. Same process as before, just laying it in there. Okay, when we have it all set up and like resize the way you want, I'm just going to drag out all of this, putting it really far away, just so then we can only cut out the lettering. Okay, and this is gonna be a whole new thing, so we're going to have to do new settings. Make sure and always change your settings over. It seems like it's a little bit thicker, so I'm gonna use the thick felt setting. So 95, 10, and I'm only gonna do one pass. And then we'll press process and start. Okay, we got that cut out, so let's open this up. Drag this over. Look at how cute. Oh my gosh. Did this not just turn out so stinking cute? OMG. Yes. Oh my goodness. And look at that, our finished little sign. I am freaking obsessed. Absolutely obsessed with this. Look at how stinking cute this turned out. Oh my goodness. That's it. And it's all cut out. Looks good. You can do any letters on with felt. Oh, so cute. All right, y'all, I sure hope I inspired you to create, and I will see you later.